New York City, January 31st, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. I always say it, when boxing gets it right, no other sport comes close. And this is boxing getting it right. The best fighting the best. Both fighters believe that this matchup settles the argument about who leads the new era. So what do we think of the Styles matchup, guys? This is a high-speed chess match a la Sugar Ray Leonard or Pernell Whitaker, Leonard and Benitez, or yes. Pernell Whitaker, Buddy McGirt, or is it a Jerry versus Jerry fight, right? Because no one wants to take the lead, or is it something else? Malik, I'll start with you.
I think it's a very special fight. It's the type of matchups we always are acting for. When it comes to explosiveness, I would have to go with Teo.
Stylistically, man, how does Shakur beat Teo and vice versa? Stylistically, how does Teo beat Shakur?
Stylistically, Teo got to go in and go for broke. He got to go gamble. He got to take some, get some, and that's just the only way to win.
I think you're going to need a couple of rounds, but the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing.
Boxing veterans are voicing concern as Shakur Stevenson prepares to face Teofimo Lopez, with many believing the decision could come back to haunt him due to the move up to 140 pounds. A division where size, power, and explosiveness often play a bigger role than technical skill alone. While no one questions Stevenson's elite talent, experienced fighters warn that adding weight can slow a boxer down, potentially taking away the sharp footwork and quick reactions that define his style, and that risk is even greater against Lopez, who is already established at that weight and thrives on speed, strength, and physical intensity.
Well, maybe. I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen, or different type of fighting we haven't seen, and vice versa, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle, that is kind of giving, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see about that. So we just don't know.
Yeah, the thing is I think people overlook of Teofimo is he can box when he wants to. Like, he's shown he has a slick style too when he wants to do that.
When he wants to do that. So if you have a slick style and you got power and you got the speed too, and you're fighting at 140. So let's see. I don't know if Shakur Stevenson is going to get slower moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. I think that he holds the weight probably really, really good, but you just don't know.
Yeah, then, okay, let me put this scenario. What if it's the Teofimo that beat Lomachenko? What if that Teofimo shows up?
Like I said, and Lomachenko is a not easy fight. Teofimo was able to be in the ring with different type of fighters and figure it out. The fighters that Shakur Stevenson was in with, they couldn't figure it out, or get close to figuring it out. Whereas Teofimo had to figure out that type of style, and Lomachenko is a hard fight to fight. So that's why this fight is so interesting. And for Shakur Stevenson to move to 140 to fight him is definitely a hats off to him.
Do you have a favorite on paper in that fight at all, Shane?
I believe it's 50-50. It's a fight that I just have to sit down and watch and just want to see.
Large number of boxing insiders are favoring Teofimo Lopez in this matchup, and their logic is rooted in tangible advantages rather than hype or fan appeal, as trainers and fighters consistently point to his natural physical size and strength. It's key factors when facing a highly skilled but naturally smaller opponent like Shakur Stevenson. They also emphasize Lopez's explosive athleticism, quick trigger power, and ability to do damage early, qualities that can instantly shift momentum. And while Shakur's defense and ring intelligence are widely respected, many believe Lopez's timing and physical presence could break Stevenson's rhythm and push him into situations he'd rather avoid. With Lopez's experience at junior welterweight and proven championship background, leading professionals to feel he's better built for this contest and more capable of asserting control across 12 rounds, a view echoed by Max Kellerman, who notes that Stevenson carries greater risk due to his technical reputation and unbeaten status, whereas Lopez stands to gain far more with less pressure as the underdog, creating a matchup that's volatile. and difficult to predict.
He's a very special athlete, and as a competitor, he is one of those guys who saves his A game for a fellow elite opponent. That's when he really rises his game and shows us the Teofimo Lopez that everybody thought he was when he was a prospect. People used to look at him and say, "Oh, this guy is going to be the star of boxing." It didn't really play out that way, but every now and then he reminds us how special he is.
Teofimo is a two-division Ring Magazine champion. In both fights where he won the Ring Magazine championship, he was the underdog. 4-1 underdog against Lomachenko. People forget, Lomachenko was taking elite fighters in the lower divisions and they were quitting.
Yes.
He was beating them into some, they were like, I can't do this, right? And Teofimo beat him. Right, he outboxed him.
Yeah, he didn't do it by physically imposing himself on him.
He outboxed him, he outfought him, he had speed, power, and then again, against Josh Taylor at junior welterweight, he was the underdog. So he saves his best for his biggest moments.
Yes, and Max, and look, I give Shakur a lot of credit, right? Because we see fighters like Boots Ennis that want to do a tune-up fight at their first fight at the new weight. And like Devin Haney, Shakur saying, I'll go right to the top dog at 140. So props to my best friend, Shakur Stevenson, Max.
Yes.
But look,
What is the beef with you two?
I think it's fun, you know? I think we, I don't think it's real hate.
You have this ability to bring out a certain kind of animosity in people in the boxing world. Does this extend to outside the boxing world?
Yeah, it does.
Or it does.
I've had that ability since I've been like 4 years old, Max, and growing up. But you asked about Teo. I actually think this fight is about Teofimo more than it is about Shakur Stevenson.
Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez both entered the January 31st clash with world-class ability. And many voices around the sport see this bout as evenly balanced rather than favoring one side. Stevenson's precision, elite defense, and high-level ring awareness make him exceptionally hard to touch, while Lopez counters with dangerous power. Explosive athletic traits and proven comfort at 140 pounds, giving him real potential to swing. The fight, if he connects cleanly,
I think it's a very special fight. It's the type of matchups we always are acting for. When it comes to explosiveness, I would have to go with Teo. When it comes to actual rapid speed, I would have to go with Teo. But when it comes to body punching, when it comes to good timing, when it comes to craft, I would have to give all of that to Shakur Stevenson.
What do you think, Doug?
They're both boxers. I look at Stevenson as a versatile technician. I look at Teofimo. He's a boxer puncher, but his specialty is his counter punching. Listen, if Stevenson wants to be on his stick and move game, very difficult style matchup for Teofimo, and maybe not that entertaining to the fans.
Because Stevenson's longer.
Exactly.
Stevenson's defense probably the best in the game, and he's longer.
Great reflexes and timing.
including Andre Ward. Believe this fight will be decided by small details like timing, conditioning, and execution, as the two are closely matched at the highest level. Lopez is known for fast starts and explosive early pressure, but may slow late, which could give Stevenson an opening, while a cautious beginning from Stevenson could force him to push the pace later, making the outcome hinge on who stays sharper and more composed over 12.
I think that Shakur is going to come out and try to fight or take the fight to Teo in the first 6 rounds at all. So if he's fighting off the back foot, if Teo can make it so that he's convincingly, or he's convinced at least Shakur that he may have won 4 of the first 6 rounds, you know, if it's 4-2 in Shakur's mind going into the second half of the fight, or if I'm looking at him stealing those first 6 rounds, then it's an interesting fight going into the tail end, because Teo, to me, is a front runner, right? I want to see if he can carry his energy and his explosiveness late in the fight and not wear down. And then when Shakur starts to open up, you know, can you steal some of those championship rounds from him and make it like a close fight? I think if Teo comes out and does what he usually does, which is try to swarm Shakur early and keep Shakur on the defensive early, then he can try to steal a lot of those early rounds. And if he does that, then Shakur has to fight in the tail end of that fight. And that'll make it real interesting. If I'm looking at the first 3 rounds, first 4 rounds, and Teo looks like he's losing those rounds convincingly, then it's an easy night for Shakur, unanimous decision in my opinion. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Teo is going to bring anything late in the game, you know what I mean, to this fight. I think if he is who he's always been, you know, he's going to get gassed after like the 7th round and then take some rounds off. And when he does that, Shakur will open up and start to try to pick him apart, pot shot him, and do things like that. But this is the perfect fight, narrative-wise, for Shakur, because I've been waiting for Shakur to get into that fight where, he doesn't have the fight where he doesn't have his Diego Corrales fight. You know what I mean? Where you think he's actually in danger. Shakur has been he's been outclassing everybody he's in the ring with. You know what I mean? Then the guys that you think could give him some work, like De Los Santos, I know people hate when I bring that fight up, but I want to see him act.
Many figures around the sport feel that a matchup like Shakur Stevenson against Teofimo Lopez is exactly what boxing needs at the moment. With Hall of Fame legend Roy Jones Jr. calling it a true skill versus skill contest comparable to elite. Pairings such as Canelo versus Crawford, noting that fights of this level restore excitement and legitimacy to the sport. Analysts also emphasize that pitting two accomplished fighters in their prime with opposing styles, Stevenson's refined technical approach against Lopez's power and forward pressure creates a high-stakes battle capable of re-energizing fans and producing lasting moments.
And that'll be Teofimo.
Teo, did you learn anything staring down with him?
Yeah. I'm gonna beat him up.
And we know at one point you contemplated retirement. Seems like you're in a good place now. You're active. Where are you at right now? Where are you feeling about your career?
But mentally, I'm in the Bahamas somewhere, having a coquito or something, bro. Although I don't drink a virgin one. But nah, man, I'm in a good space, bro. I'm happy. I'm content with everything that's going on. Thank you guys for everything. Thank you to His Excellency, Turkey Al Sheikh, Cello, Madison Square Garden, the ring, so on and so forth.
Teofimo Lopez enters his matchup with Shakur Stevenson carrying a clear sense of purpose, projecting confidence and intensity as he promises to take control once the fight begins and showcase his ability, strength, and tactical approach. His message is unmistakable. He plans to win decisively and prove himself beyond doubt, making it equally clear that he has no intention of surrendering the title he fought relentlessly to obtain. A championship, he says, represents years of sacrifice, hardship, and relentless effort. And for Lopez, this bout is deeply personal, fueled by pride and the belief that what he earned through discipline, pain, and perseverance cannot be taken from him, reinforcing his resolve to defend his standing in the ring.
Inspire people in and out of the ring. And talking of being in the ring,
yes.
Shakur Stevenson, obviously you guys are both in Las Vegas. I'm hearing that you did link up today. A face-off happened between the two of you?
Face-off happened, things of that nature, just to create the things that are in motion already. So we're really adamant about fighting each other next, and I can't wait for us to really lace it up. And I see him across the ring, and really when that bell rings, lights out for him.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face to face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think I don't think too much of it. I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next is for destiny and the boxing ring to decide.
How close is the fight between the two of you, and when could we kind of expect to see you two face each other?
I'm ready to fight. Honestly, I could fight tomorrow. I've been staying in the gym. I've been really serious about my work ethic. Everything. I hear people say this and that, and those are naysayers. I've done very well for myself at just this short period in time. The fight should happen very soon. And as long as the people on that side, the business side of that side, I just like to fight. Yeah. So let's make it happen.
How frustrating is kind of the business side of boxing? Because obviously fighters, as you say, just want to get in the ring, but there's so many hurdles to go over before you get there. And we always hear of fights falling through, fights not happening. Ryan Garcia, for example. How frustrating is it for someone like you?
There's detours for a reason, right? There's sometimes roadblocks.
Shakur Stevenson has spoken with strong confidence as he approaches his bout with Teofimo Lopez, repeatedly emphasizing how locked in and prepared he feels after an intense training camp and expressing his belief that he's ready to surprise everyone when the fight arrives. While he acknowledges Lopez's abilities, Stevenson makes it clear that his plan is to exploit any openings that appear and dictate the pace and tactics once they're in the ring.